Today is the 1st April. We're having a MicroProfile live hangout. It's a shared responsibility to take notes. Please help out. Okay, let's. I have put the basic link to the minutes in the chat. Please add your name to the minutes.
Emily,
yes.
You're not sharing your screen.
No, yeah, I'm not
Okay,
going
good.
to share because I want to pass over to Taran to do the demo. Okay, so first line business, I'm Taran is going to do a demo for the the tutorial. I appreciate that Taran is quite late for you to join this call. So this is the first agenda item. So take it away, Taran.
Sure. Great. Okay. So I have started sharing my screen. So hope you all are able to see this properly. So just to unclutter it. Okay, perfect. So I was able to complete all the chapters. So few of the chapters, last two ones, I'm just awaiting further review. I have incorporated all the feedback received so far for all the drafts which I have shared. And this is now the tutorial site. How is it looking after, I have kind of consolidated it into a tutorial from Antora. So yeah, there are some minor things which I have to fix further. But other than that, no, I have all the chapters included here. And so here, we have all the features like light mode and dark mode. We have this download option for the PDF, where we can get the PDF of this entire tutorial as an ebook to read. And then other than this, there is a search also. So we can search any particular topic in this. So the search is also integrated into this. And then there are all the chapters with various STDoc formatting, starting with introduction, getting started with MicroProfile about the project, which we are describing here, and steps to set up a development environment, and then all the remaining chapters covering each and every specification. So starting from Jakarta E core profile. So we have here chapters for all the specification, which is Open API, then configuration. So the content is all put up into a site right now. This is on my local branch, but yeah, definitely once all the chapters are thoroughly reviewed and merged, so Emily is helping on that, then this site could also be published, where we have all these sections with code examples and description of details. And it works out with the project as an example. So we build a e-commerce site throughout and keep extending it as we cover each and every specification. So these are 11 chapters are there with various subsections. And some things I might have to fix. For example, here, the MicroProfile logo will change this to MicroProfile logo and have to kind of hide this link, which is edit this page. And yeah, other than that, with respect to the work, probably just I'm consolidating the source code in the repository, and just any further reviews, comments, or minor fine tuning which I have to do, that have to be done. But hoping, yeah, you should be able to close it in few days of time.
Yeah, this is great. How to get to this page from the current MicroProfile tutorial website, the GitHub repo?
I have created the draft branch, and there is a dev container configuration also, which I have created. So I can share steps to run it. It is already there in the README file. So basically, the way I'm running it right now is within the GitHub. I have created a branch, and where I'm running this in the dev container. I haven't published it in some GitHub pages, etc. Maybe I can do that, or I can share steps through email or in the group how to run it.
Yeah, maybe put in the README. I think it's kind of better to be in the README. This is
Yes.
the GitHub pages that you are using, right? Or not?
Pardon?
Is this you are using GitHub pages or not for this like visualization?
Right. So right now, I have generated the assets, have not linked it to GitHub pages. So once the review is done, then I will update it with GitHub pages. For time being, as I said, I am generating all these assets in a local branch and the HTTP server on a dev container in GitHub code spaces. So this is right now in my GitHub code space container, dev container.
Okay.
I'm running an HTTP server and hosting this page just for demo purpose right now.
Oh, I see. The GitHub.dev. Okay. That's
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. I think it's kind of in your current PRs, you have a few open PRs. I reviewed your demo code. Just had a comment. Once you address that comment, I think we can merge in your sample code as well. So that would be good. Yeah, I think the 2 new chapters, I tagged people to review the 2 new chapters. So it's hopefully in the next few days we could kind of get a review comments in for you. So this is the final 2 chapters, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
all the content is there in the GitHub.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of merging it to the main branch.
Yeah.
So all the PRs are in place.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for getting this done. Are there any questions for Turan?
Doron, great job on this. I know it has been a huge undertaking with our community. How do you feel about the process? You have been amazing joining some of the marketing calls and using the GitHub and the marketing repo. The overall experience as you are closing to this, is it, there are pros and cons, especially with receiving feedback. What's your take on it?
Yeah, so no, I really appreciate everyone's help and suggestions. I see that, yes, you were also very patient, and I also wanted to give my best, so was not hurrying up too much, trying to get the best. So probably I would say the speed with review, which I am kind of sometimes having to wait for the reviews. Other than that, I don't see any, no, it was nice working with all of you. So I really enjoyed, yes, and I kind of feel good to kind of work on this project.
That's so good to hear. So good.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we could do better, provide basically like feedback as soon as possible to help out.
Absolutely,
Turan.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and because I also understand this is a specialized topic, so getting feedback on any specific areas, because not covers the entire breadth of MicroProfile. So yes, but which the complexity, I still see that yes, I was getting a good amount of response. So review and all was very helpful, and I was able to understand them, and there was no proper communication. All the channels guidelines, now they are documented well. So I was new to all ASCII doc or Antora. Uh, yes, Jakarta E and MicroProfile, I was aware, but yes, this also was able to catch up fast with the documentation. So enjoyed working on these technologies, from Eclipse Foundation, Antora, and ASCII doc.
That's great. It's great to know you picked up these
Yes.
technologies quite fast. Yeah.
And
Thanks.
one thing I have for you, Tarun, is MicroProfile. We have a manual for the branding. I know that it's not your responsibility. You just are full in content. Yet we have the Jakarta EE website logo. We need to change that. I'm not sure if we need to submit PRs or how do we do this part. I can send you the manual that is listed into the MicroProfile website just for reference. I hope it's helpful. Here, I'm sending it in this Zoom, and that has all the information, but you can always reach out by creating a new Git issue, and we will provide you the logo and whatever you need, the colors. The manual is short and sweet. It has all the information you need directly in the website. But you see, these are not as important because we can do them themselves. Just as if you tell us how to adjust it, it needs to be with the color and the branding of MicroProfile.
Right. The entire header portion, this is reused from Jakarta E tutorial, the latest one. So that's why this logo is also coming. So probably here, if someone can create a bundle where we have this logo replaced with MicroProfile, that should be great. I can do it with a new branch, so probably a new branch. But if someone has, I will raise an issue probably. Yeah, this is a nice suggestion that to change this logo, I might kind of create an issue, and I will post it in the channel to see if I can kind of get this updated fast by someone who is expert and who has done it already. Keto or something can help, then that will be fast, because there are few things, just the two things. One is the logo, and then I have to also see how do we get rid of this edit this page button. Sure.
So Keto already knows all this, Tarun, and he's aware that we're using the same work that was done in the Jakarta E. So honestly speaking, path of least resistance is asking Keto. Sometimes he's not that available. Do you have my contact information? Or you don't?
Yes, I have your contact information.
So quickest path to resolution. Reach out to Keto. If you don't get a response in a few days, ping me, and then I'll make sure he's paying attention.
Absolutely. Sure.
Reach out for Keto for what kind of help?
To generate a UI bundle, which is branded as per MicroProfile. So right now, I see the only thing which we have to change is the logo. So here at the top left, we have the Jakarta EE logo. So we have to replace this with MicroProfile.
And also the colors, the blue color is not MicroProfile, that is Jakarta. So I sent, so you...
If you look at the MicroProfile website, you see the colors are basically blue and yellow, and the Jakarta, it's purple and orange.
Correct. So Tarun, please use the link I sent in the chat. Emily, can we add it into the minutes so Tarun can can just be highlighted, comment, because it's easier. I cannot create the ticket for Tarun, but he can just send that and this needs to be updated via PR, whatever it needs to be done. And then it's easier colors and all of the, in the page, the link I sent you has all the information. It's so easy just to do it. So easy. It's just, I cannot do the ticket for you, but thanks, Tarun, for showing us this.
Sure. Absolutely. Thank you.
Honestly, Tarun, I bet Keto can just do a PR for you. So just reach out to him, tell him, hey, this is what we need to get done. And if he doesn't respond, just ping me and I'll make sure he responds.
Absolutely. Sure. So as per the branding guidelines, I'll get this updated. Yes, sure.
Okay. That's
Perfect.
great.
Nothing else.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tarun. And feel free to drop. I know it's been quite late for you. Okay. Are there any questions for Tarun before Tarun drops? Okay, let me share my screen. Thank you, Tarun.
Yeah.
Share. Okay, so that's the kind of the, if you haven't added your name to the minutes, please add your name to the minutes. So it's, okay, so that's the first line business, the tutorial. So there's two basically new chapters. One is on GWT, the other one, the other one is on the REST client. Two open PRs to be reviewed. MicroProfile tutorials. There's here. GWT. Right. Yeah, so that's a full tutorial. So the second, like a discussion is the basically the proposal hosting MicroProfile in Jakarta. So the discussion is still happening in the mailing list. Are there any new concerns for this kind of the proposal? Yeah, go ahead, Reza.
I don't have concerns, Emily, per se, right? I have things that I think we need to discuss and come to a conclusion on. And the part, honestly, it's still very opaque to me is the process by which we get there. So I've initially talked to Ed about this. I really need to talk to him a little bit more before we come to a solid conclusion on what we want to say. But I think probably expect an email from me, sort of outlining a proposal for a proposal, so that we can actually make progress and not just have a few conversation and the thing dies down and it just drags on forever. That's what I would not like to see. So I don't have I don't have anything to say right at this moment, but what I would say is like, I guess give me a couple of days at best. What I propose to do is send an email out, sort of responding to what you presented, you and John presented, and sort of an idea of how we could make tangible progress towards it and either make a decision A or nay, one direction or the other.
Probably you missed the previous, I think you missed the previous few calls for this kind of proposal. So the discussion, the process is, so it's basically the watch the mailing list discussions, and once it's quite done, I think is now is kind of quite done, and then it's the Joanna and I will basically consolidate the discussion, and we will come up with basically almost like a resolution and put up for vote. So this is the process. So it's Joanna and I will have meeting, and we will go through the kind of discussions, and then in the next week, the live and the technical call, and we will share the basically the draft, the resolution, and then it's kind of the consolidated resolution, and then put up for ballot vote. So the way I'm seeing it is kind of the because we mentioned whether we want a time box it and for the basically reach a conclusion. But the general consensus is they want to get kind of more time for the discussion. But I think now it's kind of quite done. I think it's probably it's, next week is maybe a kind of reasonable time to basically to discuss the resolution. So basically it's so we will basically, I already have something in mind already, the what kind of resolution we'll basically we want to put up for the vote. But it's the best to share with the community and then put up for the vote. I'm wondering what others think is now is kind of, I think it's kind of the probably it's a good time. We had a good offline conversations already. Obviously, I don't think this will be going to be an ultimate kind of the vote. I see this will be a like a two-stage vote. One stage we vote is kind of join the MicroProfile, join the Jakarta EE, and the second stage will be voting for the kind of working out the details. Think it was David trying to talk.
Yeah, I think you're
Okay.
right. I think it's a good time to start a vote. The discussion seems to have died off. If anybody had anything to say, they had plenty of time to say it.
Okay, so that's good because John, so it's kind of John and I has been discussing in the background. We have been watching this. Yeah, so that's good. So
Yeah, I think we just need to have a vote to do the move. The corresponding decisions are going to be on the Jakarta side of the fence.
yeah, you are absolutely spot on, David. So in MicroProfile side, we just vote, okay, we are happy to join, basically move to Jakarta, and then Jakarta will then make a decision, kind of the working out the fine details. Yeah. So anyway, is we are going to John come back like hopefully tomorrow, and then hopefully towards the end of this week or early next week we will share the resolution or the kind of the verbiage, and then kind of we can put up for vote. Okay, Reza.
Okay, thank you. So just to be clear, Emily, that was my follow-up question, and I think you've answered it, but let me make sure I heard it correctly. So ETA for a proposal for initial working group vote is end of this week. Yeah.
It's earlier. I will say probably it will be early next week. So we want to put kind of the verbiage. So Joanna, I will put her verbiage out, and then we just say it's getting people to be aware of it. And early next week we'll put up for a vote. I think for this vote is a 7-day, right? David, is that 7-day?
No,
Well,
14.
I'd have to check the charter. Yeah,
but-
I'd have to check the charter on what kind of vote process we have for working. We basically would probably count as an amendment of the charter because we effectively be
Yeah,
disputing the charter. So whatever our process is for updating the charter, that would be the process we would apply here.
Okay, so to finish out my thought, Emily, so let me, based on this is kind of news to me. I'm going to go and talk to Ed and a few other folks internally today, then I'll make it a priority. What I may do is send one last email in the mailing lists just to fully express our thoughts from our side so far and see if that generates further discussion or not. But yeah, tentatively, I may do that today or tomorrow.
okay. Yeah, fine. Thank you. So I'm looking
Emily,
at, yes.
yeah, so I do think that it's great to wait for John and not stress this, stress the resolution because it takes a little bit of time. And I remember Taban saying that they can revise any resolution, especially one that is such as this one, after you have a draft.
Yeah.
If you want to wait until the community call to say, is this a good resolution, right? We don't have a community call next week. It's that tutorial. One of the things, I know that we cannot speak for the Jakarta working group here, but many of the things that some of us express as the lack of transparency on the Jakarta EE conduct themselves, the process, the calls, is limited. Come and sit with us and know how the sausage is made. And when this resolution is sent, we need to be extremely careful with the expectations that should you vote a yes, clearly everyone knows Tometrai will vote -1, but the expectations are for those that are able to vote. You're voting yes to Jakarta as it is. So there would be likely no, if we don't have if we're not asking for the concessions for Jakarta to open the community, that their steering committee calls to the public so that it goes and lowers the bar to entry, the pillars of the chapter for MicroProfile are no more. Transparency, lower bar to entry, costs. If you are voting yes, and you do not expect to get higher wages, higher fees for joining this, Jakarta and MicroProfile together, because MicroProfile will no longer exist, then you have to understand that it's likely the fees for Jakarta will increase. If you are voting yes, you need to understand all these things and understand that we have made our bet as it is with that knowledge. I have no idea what kind of write-up will make it so it's actually clear beyond doubt that the presentation that you, Red Hat and IBM created, contains such a matters that say these are the cons, because I have read the cons and the cons do not express what potentially can happen. And it is our job as a community to enlist and write up what is going to happen in that presentation or in the write-up, because that is what knowledge does. Willful ignorance should not be the case for such a vote.
You need to wrap this up.
Yeah, it's done. I'm done.
You can have a point, but you can't go so long.
I
right?
know,
You can
I know.
give people a chance to speak.
Mike, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so believe it or not, I first heard about this at Java 1 last week. Tanya told me about it, and we had an interesting discussion about the whole thing. But so I know we don't have voting privileges at the moment, and we most likely this will go through. But I mentioned this last week, and Emily, not Emily, Amelia, you just stated it about, if we want to be a contributing member, participating member again, how much will that cost? so you have 3 Java groups, I think, right? It's iJug, us, and Atlanta. And, how much more are those folks going to have to pony up to be part of it again? So
Yeah,
that's all. So I do want to, submit something on the email list. I want to do it to make sure the other directors on the Garden State Jug are, agree with what I have to, post. So
you will, and Mike, the thing is that you will not have a voting vote. Jugs will not
Bea,
have
let me answer the question in numbers.
ahead.
right,
So
right.
it's 1,500 in MicroProfile working group for you to have a vote,
Right.
and for you to have a vote on
So-
it would be $25,000
So even for Java user groups.
for a vote. You can
Right.
give money. You can give money to the user to the working group and get your logo on the website, but that doesn't entitle you for lesser amounts. But that doesn't entitle you to a vote.
Right. Okay. So yeah, obviously, I don't think I mean, this is a synonymous to paving the on-ramp for for students. This is paving the on-ramp for Java user groups to be
25,000.
participating members.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
great you are here.
That's a lot. That's
25,000 that are the fees. We can check the fees of the Jakarta working group for the lowest tier that you could join the steering committee. Only the steering committee have a vote. And then the ones that are chosen as a committed rep, like Emerson, right? Emerson will lose his privileges, right? As a committed rep.
Just real careful, Emily. You need to make sure that it's correct. It's for a vote, right? Because I don't want people to clarify that. Oh, yes, and then for Jakarta, it's 25 for a vote.
Yeah, for vote. Yeah, for vote. This is for vote in JAX, right? Or for the overall vote?
For anyone.
Okay.
Right? So the lowest membership fee for MicroProfile is 1,500 per charter, and the lowest voting membership on Jakarta is 25K.
Yeah.
So
the other thing that David is the kind of the for this is Jakarta is this is the lowest this is participant fee, isn't it? This
strategic.
one.
no, it's only strategic levels.
Oh, strategic. Okay.
Allow votes. Only strategic, right? So all lower levels don't allow votes. So basically, you're just putting your logo on a website and participating in public forums, which you can participate in public forums anyway. So the only advantage that you're getting is the logo on the website. So that might be important to some people, but if you actually wanted to have a vote,
there it is.
you would need to pay the 25K.
So Emily, I would say you're sharing. Oh, I think you're going to the Jakarta fees. They start with participant 0, and that would be, there you go.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
has to be Jakarta.
Jakarta.
Yeah, I was gonna say
charter, the charter.
It would be really useful, since you're having a debate about membership fees, if you could actually get the membership fees and put them into the minutes, right? What the levels are and and how they compare.
Okay.
Yeah. So Emily, John is not here, and Ed, you are correct. There, I saw it. You found them, right? For Jakarta, can we see that?
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Emily, for there you go.
No problem.
There you go. So we have Mike, you are a member of the JUG community, and here we have it. Right? 25 is
right, but it says right, but that's for corporate revenues. Oh, less than or equal to. Never mind. Okay, I read that wrong first. Okay.
Yeah. So you would fall under the lowest category. You would fall in the lowest category.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if that's something that if Jakarta EE working group wants to amend that to be more inclusive of Java user groups, because we're a guest member of both right now.
And this is one of the things, Mike, that is important for someone like you to follow up on the thread that is currently not active and restart the conversation. I haven't seen that yet, and it's so scary to me not to see it be asked. I can't speak for the jocks because we all need to be responsible and accountable. And you being here is wonderful, because if it enables you to send a question that others can follow up, it totally neutralizes ignorance. And that is one thing that we have done about 2 weeks ago when this topic was brought up. Let's open the forum, let's bring this, and there is over 1,300 people, maybe not all active, that are in the community for MicroProfile forum, and everyone can understand what's going on and what should you vote yes, what happens. You have Ed and Reza with things, so I'm going to go mute now. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, who is earlier? Is that, shall we let Ed to say first? Ed?
So actually, I just had a question for Amelia. Amelia, are you concerned that the fee structure will change in the future, or just that, to get an equivalent, with the fee structure as it is now, the pricing would change?
Yes, thank you, Ed. I am concerned that the Jakarta EE fees, as currently are going to increase. I am concerned that communities that are JOGs that had like the power to vote might not be able to do so under Jakarta if you are not voted as a committer representing participants, because that would be it. A JOG is a participant. So I am concerned.
So you are concerned about two things. One is parity in your, if you currently have a voting membership, whether you would continue to have a voting membership with Jakarta EE, and secondly, that there could be a future fee increase in Jakarta EE, right?
And we both have that concern, correct? Yeah. So
here, I guess I would add a statement that we don't know anything about the future, right? And of course, you're free to vote, your conscience. But I mean, that fee increases may or may not happen, and that's something that that could potentially happen in MicroProfile as well, right? I mean, so it seems to me that if we were for my vote, right, I would consider what's the fee structure, what's my voting structure today, right? And the future stuff, well, it might change, but who knows? It could change for both these working groups.
Sure. I mean, you're welcome to vote that way, right?
Right. You're advocating a position, and I get to advocate a position as well, right?
Yeah, correct. Exactly. I think there's nothing wrong with it. You think that's a fine position to have.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's my question. Thank you for.
Okay. Thank you, Ed. Okay, Reza first. Reza next.
Micah, I think this is a little bit of a convoluted conversation. And honestly, I request that we have an offline about this. Please reach out to me and let's spend some time talking about this. But factually, let me just let you know two things very briefly. Number one, there is such a thing as a participant member. In fact, the LJC holds that today, and they have voting rights as a job for that reason. Is because they are elected participant member in the steering committee. There's only one such seat today, whereas for the enterprise participants, there's two actually. When Microsoft happens to be not a premium tier strategic member at all, we're actually voted in as one of the enterprise participants. So one probability is simply increasing the participant member in the steering committee from 1 to 2, and that could potentially open up space for you or Soljava, whoever else is a guest member today, to become a participant member. But I think this is too convoluted a topic to make too many bold statements right out of the gate. I ask a favor, reach out to me, let's have a chat about it, and we can even maybe have a chat with Tanya as well, and so that you can make an informed decision.
Reza, why are we reaching out to you to have a conversation?
Because I'm in the Jakarta steering committee.
So are we.
Yes, so he could reach out to you as well, right? There's nothing. Is there some prohibition as to people cannot be talking to each other, or am I missing?
I was just curious what I just wanted to understand why.
Yeah, I just explained to you why, is it?
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate the answer. I mean, you know, it was just not obvious to me.
okay, is it obvious now?
Yes.
Thank you.
By the way, most of us are in the steering committee. So Ed is also, David says, oh, who else? Yeah, quite a few of us. Me, yeah.
Now, one of the things that I do like about MicroProfile is that we can have conversations about our budget in the open, and that is something that I do think is a positive for our working group.
Mm. Okay, thank you, David. Cesar.
Yeah, thank you. So I think and I try to wear, for example, Michael's shoes because I know he's not on the Jakarta side of the fence. But this is something that we discussed last week on the technical call. I recall that everybody's gonna have a different perspective. One last week was the technical questions about what's gonna happen with the starter project. Now we're talking about the feeds. So obviously there are many different perspectives, but one thing that needs to be clear, and I think this is a very constructive call, is that we are. It's not just saying we are gonna donate this card to another. It's not just saying we are gonna donate the project, but we don't have, once the donation is done, we have no we cannot mandate to say, hey, but remember that to make the service in 5,000 miles, remember that it doesn't like to be next to the boiler because that car, once we donate, there is no way that you can donate something and expect to have the same kind of technical steering budget. Is done is done. You give the keys. There is no pointing back. And from what I'm seeing, there are many concerns that are not are also on how that new garage is going to treat the car, and that I don't know what's the perception on that side of the fence, because it's not just receiving a car, you are actually asking to continue with the maintenance, with the fees and everything. So it's more than just saying let's move MicroProfile to Jakarta, because definitely, as you can see, both technically from budget and also the organization is different.
And Emily, and I see you're writing super good notes. I would recommend that Mike, we add dash at Garden State Jag, and Cesar dash Guatemalan Jag, because Cesar is one of the leaders and founder of the Jag. So we need to, and he is also a driver, right? But he's concerned is as a community leader of the Guatemalan Jag, right? So we have two leaders here. And in the minutes, maybe Mike and Cesar write dash Guatemalan Jag dash Garden State Jag, because it's not, for someone that would not be in this call and just reading the minutes, it's not clear who you are. Who are you speaking on behalf of?
Okay. Sounds good. It's Cesar and Michael. These yeah.
I'm in the change here, no worries.
Yeah, this added there. And also, if I haven't got the minutes correctly noted, please correct them. I just trying to do.
You're amazing. And I would say, because this call is recorded, it is like, and I say a prediction that for the fees, Ed, that you nicely asked, I say that in MicroProfile, we will not increase the fees because we lower them a year and a half after MicroProfile was.
But if you're about to predict fees on the Jakarta side, please do not.
I will not, but I said it is, my prediction is really high that it will be increased in 2 years.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows in 2 years? Maybe the in MicroProfile fee also increase. Or we don't know yet.
I doubt it, because we've decreased our budget and we've had a difficult time even spending the little amount that we collect.
Right. Yeah, maybe decrease. Okay. Yeah, that's a good discussion. Are there any other kind of concerns or the feedback or comments?
I want to be very, very clear that anybody can reach out to me and speak to me for any reason that they want. And that is true of anyone and everyone. So if somebody's making some kind of insinuation otherwise, I really would like to understand why that is.
I think that might be directed at me, but I was just trying to understand because that was given a lot of time. So I was just trying to understand, you know, I would recommend people, if they do have conversations that they want to address to the working group of the Jakarta side, that they use the discuss mailing list. But, you know, it's everyone is allowed to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Can I one more thing from me? I don't like that Jakarta EE appears to operate in a behind closed doors. So if there are if you have notes or things that you recognize that you'd like to see changed, please list those so we can see about potentially addressing them, right? I think that's a mistake in our governance structure if that's the case, right? So so if there are places where you would like to see Jakarta EE private whatever limitations on discussions, right? Let's get those surfaced so we can try to address them.
And Ed, you are beautiful to say this. Remember when we finalized the transfer for Jakarta EE, clearly Oracle, and I would say we because we were the founder partners, Tommy Tribe of Jakarta EE moved to the Eclipse Foundation. I remember once the legal was completed in May of 2019, and the expectation was for Jakarta to open those calls. And I remember attending attending those calls because we are members, and how resistant the group got to it. This is not a trash on attacking what went down. It seems that the status quo on going private and keeping everything private stayed. And no matter what some of us did, there was no vote to open the calls. Some of us fought on the mailing list. My emails on the Jakarta community are there. They were never deleted. I have stated multiple times through those times, it took a long time for me not to join those calls for that specific reason. Open source is meant to be open. It's meant to lower the bar so we know how things are done. It's meant to be kind and generous and invite as many people in the world to this, especially those that are studying engineering, especially those that might be inspired by these leaders. We need to bring people beside us, not behind us. We need to be able to make mistakes in the open. And if we have to apologize, we apologize. We need to be able to be honest when we fail and be sucks. This is a mistake, but guess what? We're going to do X and Y because that is what is beautiful about open source, the people in it. It's just so beautiful. Emerson and Rafa, you have the answer.
Amelia, I share your aspirations. I guess I'm hoping that maybe you since you clearly have recollections of these.
Yes, I do, but I will not join the committees on the Jakarta side.
Can you let him finish?
Go ahead.
I'm not asking you to join the committees. I'm asking if there are places where you believe there's restrictive behavior, if you remember or have any recollection what those are, if you could list them. I would like to see if we can address if we can ask the Jakarta EE group to correct those. Okay, they could say no, but as MicroProfile, we can say, hey, these things are different. We'd like to see these things change.
Sure. Can we write in the minutes that all three committees should be open to the public?
Okay.
I mean, that would just get right to the heart of it.
Yep. Emerson, you are the committee rep of MicroProfile. You're speaking on behalf of the entire committee.
Yeah, I'm still processing the things. It even has been open for a couple of weeks. So, but while the merging could bring benefits like maybe a stronger integration and increasing the enterprise adoption of MicroProfile and in a way unifying the Java ecosystems. My concerns or the challenge I see is about ensuring that MicroProfile retains the agility and the transparency and the inclusiveness that we have right now. So instead of criticizing, maybe setting a strategy to mitigate those risks and set clear safeguards in the proposal to maintain things like the separating release cadence for MicroProfile technology. So ensuring that the independent contributors and small organizations can still participating without an excessive financial burden, and keeping governance open and transparent, allowing the community members to have a voice in the decision making are the things I would like to include in the proposal or in the minutes for today.
Yeah, feel free to basically add your what you said in the minutes. I might have missed some bit.
Okay.
Thank you, Emerson. Reza.
And Emily, I think this conversation has brought new topics, and it's likely that in the community forum, the process restarts the conversation. If that's what happens, then we need to wait to send the resolution. We started the call by saying that it was likely died out, but there was no discussion until that moment. But I believe that the conversation is going to restart. If Mike, right, sends the information, sends a follow-up, we want to make sure that there is enough air in the room for write-ups on that, right? So I'm being cautious in asking for patience when that happens, because if Jack communities send messages and then we still send the resolution and send on Monday, that is like we are in avoidance and resistance of letting that conversation die out. Are we okay in understanding that why we are likely to not send the resolution next week? Should things land in the forum as I actually expect?
Here is what I'm thinking. So let's agree on disagreement. I don't think we will agree on everything. So, I mean, we have opened up this discussion for weeks. Don't wait for the course and then share your concern and saying you are going to send an email. Please do send your comment in the mailing list. I mean, in the next today or tomorrow, and then we still have days. Like we can basically draft the proposal early next week. I don't think we will be able to reach agreement. So your concern is still your concern. So basically, your vote is still your vote. You vote based on your understanding. So it's kind of the pretty much is you just bring up your concern and then people can read it and then maybe they disagree, maybe agree. So it's kind of your comment could influence their vote. So that's my suggestion. But anyway, I think we have to basically come to a conclusion, and I think it doesn't matter we create a proposal and then we continue to discuss the proposal. The plan is if people are happy with the proposal, is for the voting kind of the thing, and then we can start the vote. Okay, I think we have 2 more minutes, Reza. So yeah, go ahead. I think please keep it short. Yeah.
Sorry, thank you, and I'll keep it short. So, number one, I would very much like to second what Ed said. I think any kind of reasonable suggestion to improve the process and transparency of Jakarta, that's helpful for everyone, including the comments of, how do we better represent jugs? Do we, for example, increase the participant membership from 1 to 2, and does that solve the problem? These are all good suggestions. My only request for anyone would be to be very crisp and very concrete. And as Emily suggested, I'd like to second that as well. is send an email out so that, you know, there's no misinterpretation and we can all take a look at it and we can also take action on it as well. So I think these are all good things. So I just primarily want to second the idea that, yeah, this is the time to see if Jakarta-E can be improved in the process.
Yeah, so hopefully it's kind of we'll just add some positive influence towards the Jakarta-E process. Yeah.
Certainly,
As well.
that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
On the note where you said all 3 calls, just can you add calls and lists?
Yeah, I did say
The next one down, it's the last one where
yeah,
whoever's
here.
typing now, whoever's typing now, it says the second bullet down. There's David said all 3.
Oh yeah, all 3. The Jakarta-E steering committee. I said a spec, but somehow it was disappeared.
Yeah, it's still getting. I think I'm
Is
trying to
this
say
one?
move to the second bullet.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a second.
Oh, here. Oh, I see. I added here.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify because my name's on the second bullet.
Yeah.
So
Shall I delete this since you added this?
No, because
you can leave it there. You can leave it there because I think Ed's comment was valid that he wanted people to
open up those calls.
right.
Yeah.
And maybe you can put mine on the second line just so Ed's comment stands on its own. You know what I mean?
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did rewrite.
Thank you, Ed, for making that comment. And we're over. And you know, I'll just restate that I think this vote is going to pass pretty easily, and that's okay. And if we can improve things on the Jakarta side of the fence, that's great. If we actually manage to get the steering and specification and marketing opened up to everyone who wants to attend, I think that would be wonderful. And I think in practice, there'd be no change because people don't like to attend calls, and it would probably be the same people anyway. But having the option for the public to attend would probably be wonderful. That's all wrapped up for me.
Yeah, great. Certainly we can bring it up. I'm on the kind of, I will certainly bring up on the kind of the course I'm on, and at least in the discuss marketing course, back call, and maybe it's Ed and I can bring up in the steering committee call as well. Okay, that's great. Thank you all, and that's a great conversation. And please do share your kind of the thought on the kind of proposal on the mailing list. And as I mentioned, for kind of summarize, John and I will process all the minutes and etc. And then we'll draft some like the proposal is kind of the voting verbiage early next week. So it's your comment and your thoughts is very important to us, to the whole working group. Yeah, please do share your comment, share your thought. Okay, thank you all for attending this call and share your kind of thought. Yeah, talk to you next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.